Early this morning, the last of these pieces wrapped up on the 3D printer, which was pretty exciting because this is the latest revision of this hinge. Some small changes this go around. The big one is the material that I used. So a friend of mine had printed these pieces in Nylon X, which is a carbon fiber reinforced nylon. Pretty high temp, really strong and durable material. I opted for the first round of this hinge, of the main hinge pieces, to be printed out of PLA, just to test, and to see if PLA would survive those temperatures back there with the exhaust heat and whatnot. And it did deform a bit after some miles. So I went ahead and opted for Nylon X for the rest of this. And in the meantime, I bought a 3D printer and did a few test prints and finally stepped over to Nylon X. And these two were my first print ever on Nylon X, and this is the second print, so I printed both of these at the same time, and then I printed this guy. I have to say, really pleased with the material and how things printed. I never expected to get such good quality, especially out of my first prints. So aside from material change, a few other little updates. I added some metal bands here on the ends of this guy here to strengthen or to prevent the 3D printed material from splitting. You can see actually the direction that I had to print this puts essentially the layers in this horizontal orientation. And so I don't know that it will be a problem, but the metal bands will help to prevent that, prevent things from cracking. Not that this hinge undergoes a lot of stress. The other thing I added, which is pretty, it's a minor detail, is these little wave springs on either end. So I've got nylon washers on either side of the wave spring. And essentially what it does is it allows the hinge to kind of auto center, but it still allows some side-to-side movement, just a little bit. So I've got some slotted adjustments here, forward and back, that allow me to align the panel with the trunk after everything's bolted in. But springs still, you can hear them working. I probably could bend those springs a little bit better where they, that little kind of frog sound is this spring material rubbing on the aluminum. Maybe I could put some sort of a plastic sleeve over that aluminum bar and get rid of that noise, but it's a minor detail. Maybe the next round of the hinge, I'll do that. But overall, pretty stoked about the design. I think it looks good, as I about fall over here. And so I'll get it bolted in, go into the car show about 2 hours away early tomorrow morning, so I'll get some miles on the highway. And we'll see if by the time I show up at the car show, the hinge is melted. It shouldn't, because that nylon is a way higher temperature capability than the PLA that I used last time. So it should be good.